Well, there are many needs of our time, and some of them I think Christian academics can address. How do we talk to persons who are of the Confucian way of life? How do we talk to Buddhists? How do we talk to Muslims? People of the folk religions, and these are very important. And we have a lot of conversations that we need to be having about that. And I've learned so much from my friends in other national and cultural contexts on those things. And then I think some of the important issues in our culture of, we used to talk a lot about faith and science. Then we realized that you couldn't talk about faith and science without also talking about faith and technology. Well, today we need to talk about faith and the social media. You know, there are thousands and thousands of young people in China who are doing Warcraft right now, that is online gaming. And they're networked with people in Belgium and in North Dakota and Seoul, South Korea. And there are new international communities that are emerging through social media, through gaming. And the church has really not done much for that, and really doesn't always know how to do it, but we need scholars who are studying that. What are the good things about making friends? If you're Chinese in Nanjing, making a friend in Brussels, in Belgium. But what are the dangers of that as well? A fantasy world, a world without real human flesh and blood people that you're trusting in. We have so many issues today that we need to be thinking about, and often the academic disciplines don't give us the right kind of boundaries for that, and we need to find each other in new ways. I have two grandsons, one of them a student now at Calvin College, another one still a student in a public high school in Little Rock, Arkansas. In their high school years, they have had Muslim friends. I never knew a Muslim as a child. We prayed for missionaries to Arabia, and we sometimes saw slides when they came back on furlough, and they would show pictures of people with camels and with head coverings and the like, but I didn't know Muslims. Today there are Muslims who live in my neighborhood, and we don't always know how to talk to each other. And furthermore, if all we do is watch the news on television, we think of Muslims, of Islam, as very evil people who are trying to destroy us. But I know a 30-year-old Muslim mother with two children, who one is 8 years old, one is 6 years old. And she worries about their going to school because they get bullied on the playground. That's a kind of interfaith conversation. Mothers need to be talking to mothers, and fathers and mothers talking to other parents, and neighbors need to talk to each other. But very often it's difficult to know how to do that, and I believe that the Christian community has to provide that. And so there's a learning that takes place in interfaith dialogue. There's the opportunity always that we look for to point people to Jesus Christ, but promoting a neighborliness and mutual understanding and seeing each other as real human beings who were created by God. These are, I think, very important challenges for us today. It's so important for us to be talking to people of other faiths, and it's so important for us as Christian academics, Christian intellectuals, Christian church leaders, to be modeling how to do that. I wrote a book several years ago on civility, and I got the idea for writing a popular book on civility from a wonderful line that I read in a book by Dr. Martin Marty, the great Lutheran theologian from the University of Chicago, who said, a lot of people today who are civil don't have very strong convictions, and a lot of people who have strong convictions aren't very civil. We need to have convicted civility. And I think the Bible teaches that. In 1 Peter chapter 3, it says, we should always be ready to give to anyone who asks of you a reason for the hope that lies within you. You know, that's conviction. But then it goes on to say, but do so with gentleness and respect. And so how do we engage in public life in a respectful relationship and even finding patterns of cooperation with people about whom we disagree on the basic issues of life, but at the same time maintain our strong convictions and always be ready when asked, when given the opportunity to speak about our faith. But sometimes we simply need to act out our faith alongside of people with whom we disagree. And this is a huge challenge. And we need to be showing who we are by our good works in public life as a way of living out our convictions and not denying our convictions.